Hi, hello, Dr. Lewis. This is my lab practical, and I'm going to be demonstrating 3 range of motion tests and 3 manual muscle tests. Let's see. All right, first up we have the shoulder external rotation test. And so I have supported the subject's arm with a towel, we'll call it, and I don't have a goniometer, so I'm going to be using a protractor. So for this test, partner is going to be lying, let's say, supine, and is going to have his arm out like so, and I'm going to test his range of motion. The stationary arm would be perpendicular to the floor. The mobile arm is going to be lined up with the ulnar styloid process right here. The axis of rotation is going to be the olecranon process, which is right about there. Where'd it go? Alright, found the protractor. And muscles causing action are going to be the posterior deltoid, infraspinatus, and teres minor. Alright, Connor, if you could please externally rotate your arm. Go. So it is about, we're going to call that about 105 degrees of external rotation. So also, olecranon process is right here. Just to clarify, I don't know if that was clear or not. Alright, our next range of motion test is going to be the knee flexing test. So partner is going to be laying supine, and as shown here. So Connor, if you could please flex your hip, just show me range of motion. Great, thank you. So the stationary arm would be aligned kind of along the femur and aimed at the greater trochanter down here. The mobile arm would be aligned to the lateral malleolus on the ankle, and the axis rotation would be the lateral epicondyle of the femur right here. Again, with the protractor. So Connor, if you could please bring your knee up as far as you can now, and flex like you already are. Good. So you can see it is about 135 degrees of knee flexion. The muscles causing this action are the posterior deltoid, misspoke. Semimembranosus, semitendinosus, and biceps femoris are the muscles causing this action. Alright, our third range of motion test is one measuring cervical extension. My partner is going to be standing upright, and he's going to extend his neck back. And so the muscles causing this action are going to be the splenius cervicus and the upper part of the erector spinae. And these ends of the tape are going to be from the sternal notch right here to the tip of the chin. So Connor, if you could please extend. That is 21 centimeters. Alright, so these are now the manual muscle tests that I'll be performing. Alright, the first manual muscle test I'll be performing will be on the brachioradialis. The partner should be seated in a chair, our hand in neutral position, arm elbow flexed to 90 degrees. Let's see. The brachioradialis is responsible for elbow flexion and supination of the wrist. The origin of it is the distal humerus at the lateral supracondylar ridge, and the insertion is at the radial styloid process. Alright, I'm going to be resisting downward, so let's get into it. Connor, please resist. Go. Alright. Because he was able to resist my full force, that is a 5. Yeah. Okay, our next manual muscle test is for the gluteus maximus. So the action of this is hip extension and a little bit of external rotation of the hip. It originates at the sacrum and the coccyx in the posterior crest of the ilium. It's inserted into the gluteal tuberosity and the iliotibial iliotibial tract. Let's see, so he's going to be laying on his stomach. Connor, can you please bend your knee to right knee to 90 degrees. And lift your thigh off the mat table a bit. Thank you. Down. Alright. Okay, Connor, get that knee up. Please flex the knee. Thank you. Okay, if you will please lift up and resist. Alright, good. Thank you. Alright, and for that, he got a grade of 5 because he was able to resist my full force. Alright, the last manual muscle test that I'm going to be performing is the trunk extension test, which is a test of the erector spinae muscle group. So, trunk extension, test of the erector spinae muscle group. Its action is spinal extension, and in this muscle group we have the iliocostalis, longissimus, and spinalis. So, iliocostalis originates from lumbar vertebrae, iliac crest, and the sacrum, inserts into the ribs, and longissimus originates at the transverse processes of the vertebrae and inserts at the transverse processes superior to the origin of, they kind of travels upward in the insertion. And the spinalis muscles originate at the spinous processes, and they originate at the next one up. And all the actions of this of all the muscles in this group is spinal extension. So Connor is going to be lying on his stomach, and I'm going to be actually providing no resistance, just going to be stabilizing here at the ankles while he puts his hands on his head, on the back of his head, and then going to extend upward. I'm going to hold that. So if he can hold this for an amount of time, which it looks like he can, and he's not fatiguing much, and he is lifting up his chest sufficiently. So for this, Connor, go back down. I can give him a grade of 5. And so it was apparent that Connor was able to, just before him going up, it was found that he was able to extend his trunk up. Connor, could you just demonstrate a little more trunk extension, please? And back down. Good job. So really, since I'm providing no resistance, the test itself is also a clear against gravity. It's kind of interesting.